Hi everyone, so this is a brief introduction to the variety of easel cards. There are many more, but I've decided that the ones I show you I will do a tutorial for you. So this is what I call my cheats easel card. So I'll have to tip them all because it doesn't show well on the overhead camera. So this is the first one, and it's a cheats one because it only uses a 6x6 card and just a little bit that's added on the top. So the cheat bit comes because I've cut out half a hole on the bottom. So it can be any shape that you want. This one I did a square, and this one I have covered the back piece so you don't even see the hole. Okay, so that's a cheats easel card. Then we come to this form of easel, which is on an A5 card. It has two panels that are stuck down on the side and a lift up panel in the middle, making a lovely card. I've got another version of that one, again two panels on the side, lift up in the middle, and there you've got a lovely card. So that's the A5 easel. This one is just a simple easel, but I've downloaded off the internet a template for an open book. So there's lots of free versions on the internet for this template. Right, this one is a double twist easel and has wings that come out and one stopper in the middle on this particular one. So a double twisted easel. This is another version of a double twist. So let's just tip that one, and this one has little acrylic domes on there as a stopper. Hold that down. Then we come to a triple easel. So on this one, it has small wings on the outside. It's made from a DL card, and that is a triple twisted easel. Another variation of the triple twist is two wings that come out, and I've chosen not to make the easel out of this bit and just have a flap. Okay, so that adds a bit more intrigue into the card. Then we get slightly more complicated, and this is a tent easel. It's a two-part easel card. I'll slide those up. It has a tent card at the back, and then the easel extends at the front to be a secondary, see if we can hold it all up, secondary panel. So this here is the extra panel. It's sliding on the glass mat, but that's a lovely card. Takes quite a bit of card to cover it. And then you get this one, which looks like a normal easel card until you realise that there's a second card inside which acts as the stopper for the back one. So that is a beautiful design. So there's your first card and there's your second card. So we're going to do tutorials on all of those, but we're going to start by looking at the cheats easel card like that, and we're going to make it using a roll of sellotape. Right, so this is our cheats easel card tutorial. So there were the 2 samples that we have at the moment, so I'm just going to put those to one side and look at what we need to complete the card. I have a 15cm square card or a 6-inch square card. Hopefully you'll be able to follow the video, and whatever measurements you want, you choose the colour and follow the measurements. But this card only has one measurement to do. So it's a score line at 7.5 or 3 inches. So I've chosen some pieces of paper, and we're going to make it using a roll of sellotape. Okay, so if you've got dies and things, you can use that, but most of my videos I like to do so that those that don't have the expensive equipment can have as much enjoyment as everybody else. So I'm going to take my piece of card, and I want to score it at 7.5, but only at the edge. So I want to do 7.5 there and 7.5 there. So I've just started my mark. So I don't know whether you'll see this on the video, but I'm going to take my roll of sellotape and put that roughly in the middle. Now if I fold that, it gives me a better view of it. I can make it higher, lower. I'm going to go roughly there, and I'm going to take my pencil and just go round. Now I've got to come back to my scoreboard, because where we started those score lines, I need to just take it now as far as my circle. Don't forget, it could be any shape you like. Now, from where my score line comes, I'm going to cut with a knife all the way around. Could do with changing my knife to a sharper one. There we go. So I'm going to start at the score line, working my way all the way around. I don't move my wrist, I'm moving the paper, and I come down right to the other score line. So now when I fold this, this circle pops up. So I'm now going to prepare my topper. So I've got this paper that's got this lovely deer on it. I'm going to take my roll of sellotape, place it on, decide where I want to emphasise, and I've now got my topper. So I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to cut my topper out carefully. Turning my paper into the scissors, not moving my arm. Okay. So I'll put that to one side for the moment. Right, so that topper, because we've used the same thing to cut it, fits exactly onto there. So I want to add a little border to it. So what I'm going to do now is to take my sellotape again, place it on there. In fact, I'll go to the back. And I'm going to draw around the inner bit, and I'm going to draw around a bit. So I can now take fancy scissors and I'm going to go round putting the scallop of the fancy scissor around that outer edge. Make sure you match up your scissors correctly. So there is my edge piece, and I'm going to use wet glue on this one. You can use whatever you're happy with and fit that inside there. Now that's going to go onto there, but we need to decorate these pieces. So the first thing I'm going to do is to take my piece here and I'm going to line it up so that it matches these two lines. Don't worry about the rest. This across here, this bit will not be seen and doesn't move. Okay. Take this and I'm lining up with the bottom. I want to show you I can cut that side as well. So I'm now going to take my knife, cut down that side. I'm using the card as a guide where to cut, and if I fold that back here, I can cut to there, cut to there, and I'm just going to take my scissors. This is going to be covered, so I'm going to cut straight across there. So this is covered. I haven't interfered with the crease at all. And I've got another piece that I'm going to put on this side. Move these. And I want to lift that one up, and I think I had a pretty one with leaves on it. I'm going to put it up as far as the creased score bit, turn it over, and cut round. So we've done no measuring. I've now got this front piece covered, the back piece covered, and it's also covered the hole that was there. Let's find the topper. We're now going to put the topper on here. Across the middle and a little bit at the bottom. And we're going to position him, let's get him standing upright. There. So there is my topper, matching border and leaves on the back. And I think I'm going to put the leaves inside as well. So again, no measuring. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to just line it up just under the fold. Turn it over and I can trim off just using the card as a template to cut round. Right, let's see. So in here we've now got the lined card beautifully edge to edge. From this little bit of scrap here, I'm going to cut out, I think I'll use this here. Again, I'm not measuring, I'm just using something to make myself a small square or a rectangle. Now I think I like that bit there, so I'm going to cut that. I'm going back to my purple and I'm going to stick that down onto the purple. Onto there, and I'm using my fancy scissors to just cut around. I've left myself plenty of room for the scissors to hold on to. And I'm going to take some sticky fixers because we want the stopper to be raised so that it's a buffer for the top card to rest against. So we get the stopper up the right way into roughly the middle, and there is our Cheats easel card. The only measurements we've done are this little score line here. The rest has been done by your roll of sellotape. So there's a good one to have a go at for your first easel card if you've never made one before. So we're going to look in this video tutorial at an A5 card with a centre easel. So that was 1 and that was 2. So they are simple to make, and we're going to look now at how that's done. Put those to one side. We're going to use first an A5 card, so A4 folded in half, and the measurements will appear up in the top of the video. So the first thing I'm going to do is to score at 4.5 and 5 centimetres. So I'm going to there. I'm going to go 4.5, 5, down to your fold, and I'm going to go 16 and 16.5. These are decorative score lines. And I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut up so that I'm just leaving the score lines on. I'm cutting right up to the crease, so that is free. And at this end, I'm going to go up. Right. Okay, so there we have the 3 flaps. Now, this one here is going to be scored in half across. So I'm going back to my scoreboard. The whole lot is 15, so I'm going to score down 7.5 to there. And I'm just going to give that a quick fold. Don't need to burnish it down just yet. So that is the scoring done. These are decorative. Now we're going to open out our card and we need to put a lining inside. So I've already cut my lining to size, and the important thing is that you keep away from this crease. Don't worry if you've got anything missing at the sides, because that will be covered. Fix that down well. And I'm lining up with the bottom of my card. There we go. So I'm well away from this crease. Right, then we're going to fold these down, and these are going to stick down. I'm going to prepare these for the moment, because I want to be very careful about how they fix down. Because they're only attached by this piece here, it can wiggle. So I'm being very careful when I put it down that I'm matching this edge very carefully. So then I'm matching this edge. Now, because we've put the lining in first, that is beautifully lined inside, and there is a centerpiece. Okay. Now, you've got the measurements for your side panels, and these fit from top to bottom and on the other side. You can cut them smaller and add a mat if you like, but I prefer a nice simple cut. So I'm measuring up to here. Stick it down, and if I've got anything that is slightly over, I just trim off. I'm going to place my second one. This This one's got a little bit more hanging over, so just trim that. There isn't an actual measurement that is right, so you may need to trim a fraction. Now we're going to look at this piece in the middle, and I've given you measurements for an inner an inner piece and a matte layer to go round it. Okay, so cut those out. And this one needs to be fully fixed onto your mat. There we go. But when we come to fix it onto here, we need to keep our adhesive, whichever you use, halfway down. So I'm going to place that on how I want it, and I'm just going to lift that up and put a little mark halfway. So I can now put my adhesive on to the lower side, otherwise your easel won't work. So I'm now centering that so that it's the same distance showing all the way round, and the bottom bit is fixed and the top bit is free. Okay, now we're going to look at decorating. Now I've had this pack of decoupage, so I'm going to take this one here, and I think I'm going to use wet glue for this one. And I'm going to fix that onto there, so I've got plenty of room to put my greeting on there. Right, I've got all this left. I need to save one piece for my stopper, so I'm going to put that one on next. One, two. Now I want a fairly high stopper, so I'm actually going to put 2 layers of my sticky fixers because they're rather shallow sticky fixers, so I need it double height. There we go. Now if I look at it, this is my straightest edge. So I'm going to place that so that that straight edge becomes my stopper. And now I've got these 2 pieces left. Right, this piece here no longer moves, it's been fixed down. Okay, so it doesn't matter if I overlap into here, but I think I'm going to turn it round and just have this light piece going in. So that's going to go there. And then I've got this piece here. Now I think that would be too chunky, so I'm going to take this bit here, and I'm just taking off the flowers. And I can either have that up there. Let's close the card and see what it looks like. So think I'm going to keep it down the bottom. Right, so there we go. So there is our easel card made from an A5 card. Close it up, and that is how they will receive it in the envelope, and then simply stand it up. So I've got plenty of room to put my greeting and plenty of room to write inside, so that when the card is received you don't see anything until they open it and stand it up. Okay, so a very simple idea and not too complicated. Right, enjoy.